Hey guys, so what I want to talk about today is the process I go through with my electronics as far as finding a spot and then jumping up front and positioning to get ready to fish it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll find let's say I find a brush pile here, which this is actually a tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over on my side imaging screen and I'm going to mark that waypoint. And then what will happen is that waypoint is going to show on my mapping screen of where I place that. So what I'll do is I'll get zoomed in enough to where I see that waypoint and I'll start to turn the boat, and what I want to do is I want to position downwind of that. In this case it's a tree, because I want to position into the wind so I can control the boat when I'm fishing this brush pile. So what I'll do is I'll get past or approach the brush pile or rock pile, whatever I'm fishing, and I like to get to within about 100 feet of it. So I'm just going to keep going. In this case, there's not a whole lot of wind today, so it doesn't really matter which side I go from, but I'm going to idle past it and point the boat towards the brush pile. So right now, really the only thing I'm paying attention to is the mapping screen and my waypoint. All right, so I just went past it. I'm going to turn the boat and we're going to get pointed right at it. So what I'll do, get the trolling motor down. I'll have my 360 set where I have a sliver of map on the left-hand side, and then I have the majority of the screen in the 360 mode. So what you'll notice as I approach it, eventually that waypoint is going to show up on my 360 screen. So now you're gonna see there's my waypoint of the object I marked on my 360. And there it is on the map. So now once I get it in view of the 360, what I like to do is go to a half screen view to give me a fuller picture of the 360. So now you see that waypoint is directly on top of that brush pile, or in this case it's a tree. I know where that is, and what I'll do is once I get it lined up in my 360, then I'm going to switch to my live scope, and what I'll do is I'll pan with my motor. It's actually a couple fish, and then boom, there's the tree right there. So that's the tree that I idled by and marked on the live scope. This is my waypoint on the 360. That's right on top of that tree. And then what I can do is that waypoint will make sure that I'm always lined up on it, but then I can use this live scope to really pick apart that tree. Look for fish, make sure my bait's coming through it properly, and then maybe scan around and oh, there's another tree right there. So that's the advantage of that live scope, is you can actually pick it apart a lot better than you can with the 360. But the 360 will really help you line up on the object. So that's the process that I go through when I idle by. I find a spot I want to fish, I mark it on my side imaging, use my mapping unit on my dash to line me up, jump up front, mapping in 360 to get situated where I want to be on the brush pile or object, and then the live scope, I pan to pick it apart. That's the system that I use. Very efficient, and it helps you catch a lot more fish for sure.